Hello everyone, welcome to my studio space here in my tiny house. I thought today what we might do is whip out those cereal boxes or cracker boxes or whatever boxes you have, and let's make a sketchbook today. Let's get everything situated, let's make our little studio space, and we can work together today. Because I know I've seen all your studio spaces and you've got some great spaces to work. So let's build it up, put all our stuff together. I'll make a little list for you of all the things you'll need to make your sketchbook today. And let's go on and get started. We're going to have some fun. I'm so excited. I've spent a little too much time getting all my supplies together and being super extra. But it's okay. That's what's fun about art, is that you can overdo it and it's fun and it turns out really cool. Okay. Let's go on and get started. First thing you're going to need is, of course, your cereal box, cracker box, gummy bear box, anything. I don't care. Grab you a box. You're going to need that. You're going to need some paper. This is some sketchbook paper. If you have notebook paper, that'll work really great as well. If you have construction paper will work really well as well. Anything you want. Grab some paper, and you need that. You're going to need some of your favorite paints. These are my particular favorite colors right now, along with a few other greens, which I'll whip out later. But grab your paints that you like the most. Grab those out. You're going to need acrylic paint. A watercolor paint won't work as well, so grab you some acrylic paint, just like this. You're going to also need some paint brushes, and as you can probably tell, I've got a weird looking paintbrush here. I made one with some pine needles and some twigs. Yep, I made it today, and I'm going to use that today to paint a little bit. I want to see how that works. So you guys are going to get to see how I use my paintbrush today for the first time, because I had an inkling, I just wanted to make it. So you'll need your paintbrushes, something to paint with. If you want to get real fancy and find some other items around the house that you want to paint with, just go right ahead and do it. Okay? You will also need some scissors. You will need a glue stick. You will need a push pin. If you have a big push pin like me, hey, it might help. But if you have a small, tiny one like, I gotta dig it out. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. If you have a tiny one, that'll work too. But a way to poke a hole into the paper to make our pages for our book, you'll need that. Now, I've got something a little different. I could not find masking tape or any sort of tape around my house. So I have this very odd tape. It's called gummed paper, oh, I forgot the name of it, but it's like gummed packaging tape. Yes, I think that's what it's called. But you activate it with water. You add water to the slicky side, and it makes it real sticky. Now, for you guys, don't use your Scotch tape. The Scotch tape will not work. The shiny stuff, the clear stuff, the stuff you can see through. No, do not use that. You can either use masking tape or duct tape. I actually would prefer you guys to use masking tape or duct tape rather than going out and getting this stuff. This stuff is kind of complicated, so you're going to see me struggle today. I'm going to struggle a little bit, but you guys are going to be easy peasy. Just get you some duct tape or some masking tape, not Scotch tape. Scotch tape is it'll rip and tear and it's not very durable. So the masking tape and duct tape will work great. Okay? Now, after the tape, you're going to need, of course, some water. Now, this looks like nasty water. Some of you like to call it chocolate milk, and you are exactly right, but it still works. Just get you some water to rinse off those brushes. You will also need some stickers. I know you guys have got some stickers hidden somewhere. Grab you some stickers, letter stickers. Grab some colored paper. I've got strip stickers that I'll peel off and maybe put on my book to decorate it. But grab you some stickers, anything you want, and get those ready as well. You will need, I keep a stash of like all kinds of cool pieces of paper that I find in magazines. You'll need a lot of those. You can get magazine paper, you can get newspaper, you can get anything you want. But this stuff's going to come in handy today. And I'll show you how to use it, all right? And I think that's everything. Got the glue, got the scissors, got the pepper, got the tape, got the paint, got the paper, and the box that we'll be working in today. I think that is everything. If something does not pop up in my head right now and we'll need it later, I will tell you and you can go run and get it. We'll grab it when the time comes, okay? Oh, see, I knew I'd forget something. You're going to need some twigs. Well, you don't have to. It's up to you. But what I wanted to show you is I like to make books. This is a tiny, tiny book that I made. And I've done a little bit of painting in here, just a little bit, some mixed media paintings, very tiny. But if you look on the outside, it's a stick, it's a twig. And I thought what would be really cool is if you can gather some old twigs or sticks or anything that you have lying around the house somewhere. What you'll want to do is pop off all these tiny pieces. And you want to get something interesting like this. I love all the texture going on down here. So I'm gonna grab that size. I'll leave that alone. I loved this down here because of all the detail. Just thought it looked so cool. So we'll get that. I'll grab this, and I think I'll grab one more. I kind of want one that's a little pliable, meaning that it's easy to. Oh. Whoops! Guess can't use that one. How about, yeah, that was my other one. How about we just leave it at those three? Yeah. Yeah, I'll take these out. The reason why you want the twigs is to make the binding look really, really interesting. And we're going to paint it and jazz it up any way you want. It just makes the book a lot more interesting. So yeah, didn't mean to break that stick, but hey, it's all good. We make mistakes. Now I want to go on and get the base of the book started. So what you're going to do is you're going to pop open your cereal box, get it all wide open like this. And then what you're going to do is you're going to cut off all the edges, all these flaps. You don't need those anymore. So use your scissors and cut those flaps off. And just like a book, you're going to start to see the front cover and the back cover kind of appear. You'll see how everything's going to come together. Okay, so you've got all the flaps done. You can toss those away, throw them away. If you want to keep them for bookmark making, you could do that for later. It's totally up to you. But you're going to have something that looks like this. And that looks like the front cover, right? There's the front cover, and you open it up. And here's the binding, and then here's the back cover. Now, I'm going to switch it up a little bit. Usually what I like to do is I like to build my pages on the binding part where it's folded like that. But I'm actually going to do something a little different because my book isn't going to be this thick. So I want to make it a little bit smaller. So I'm actually going to cut off the binding part. And you guys can do that too. And I'm going to show you how to make your binding a little bit smaller so that your sketchbook isn't gargantuan and awkward and annoying. So yeah, you can save that and make a bookmark later. I actually think I might do that. That actually would be really cool. Someone's over there. And then you've got two pieces. And then you're like, Miss Bangs, how are we going to make a book when they're both detached and they're not touching each other anymore? They're not attached anymore. Well, guess what? I'm going to show you. Well, first of all, your cereal boxes may be the size of this. You may want your book to be like this. If you do, that's perfectly fine. If you want your book to be like this, you can do that, and that's perfectly fine. And I'm thinking about making my binding about this wide. Okay, this is future Miss Banks that has just realized a few things, and I wanted to show you prior to us getting knee deep into our project and going, ooh, we messed up. Well, I needed to make a few things clear before we go much further. Let's talk about the signatures. Now, what the signatures are the piles of paper that we put together in order to go into our book. So let's make those real quick. Grab your papers, all your papers, and you want to fold them in half. Every single one of them. Every single piece of paper that you have, you want to fold it in half. So, you got your piece of paper. You want to fold it in half. Get it all the way up to the top. Make sure the corners go mwah, mwah. Hold it there. Make sure it doesn't move. Hold it up at the top with your pointer finger. Then slide down and fold. And then fold. And you've got to fold. So you do that to every single one. So they're all folded. Get all the creases on one side. All the creases. You see these little boogers? All those creases. You want them on one side. Hold it all together. And then you're going to pick one signature or one piece of paper. And we're going to make the signature. And this is how it's going to happen. You're going to take this sheet that's folded. Going to open this up. Slide it in there. And then you're going to open this page up, the second page. So you've got 1 and then 2. Now you need another one. Just come over here and grab the other one and lay that on the inside. Open it up just like that. See, you've got 1, 2, 3. See how the pages are forming for your book? Okay, so you've got 3. Now we need another one. I'm going to open that up, slide it in there, get it all on top of each other, sitting in there in the folds in the center. Then we want another one. Get that fold, that crease right there in the middle. And they're all laid flat. So you've got, how many we've got now? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Last one, 6. We're going to put that right there in the middle, and then we're going to close it up. And you have just made a signature. You see how all the pages are smushed into one book? It's almost like a book right now, just without a fancy cover. So you've got all these pages smushed together. Now, let's set that off to the side for a second. Now, you're going to see me making the cover, but let me go on and make clear how we're going to size up our book to match the size of our paper. You can see, look at this. This is too big. Sometimes your boxes may be a little bit too big for the papers that you're putting together. So what you want to do is size it up a little bit, get it to where you want it to sit. Make there like a little lip. I'll show you. All the way around, just so you can see a little bit of the box. Then you're going to take your pencil and mark where you want to cut around your signature. Let me do it up here at the top. And you can see I'm holding my pencil at an angle so that it hits it just above it, not beside it like this, real close to the edge. Just put it at an angle and let it hit a little further away from the book. So now you've got the right size book cover for your pages. So you cut it out. Cut it out. Okay, so you've got one. You can toss this and go to the side. Now look, see, there's the front cover and here's the back cover. So we want to make them the same size. So you want to lay the first one that we cut right on top. And then you want to make sure it's all lined up. Now you can trace it right against it because you want it to be the exact same size. If it's not, it's okay, because we're just making a artistic kind of book. We're not really caring about it being precise. We're just kind of being a little carefree about making our sketchbooks, making them very, very simple and natural. And you just cut it out along that line. And now you've got two covers that are the exact same size and they fit our pages. You see that now? So now we'll be able to attach our book cover to the pages. Then you can open it up just like a book, just like a sketchbook, okay? Now comes the next part where I show you how to do the binding using the tape, and then we continue on with the rest of the video. So I just wanted to show you how to make your box fit your pages, okay? All right, let's keep going. Okay, so let's pretend that this is your duct tape or your masking tape, whatever tape you have. The one thing you want to do is you want to take your tape and you want to determine how thick you want your binding to be. Do you want it to be about this thick or this thick? Like, how thick do you want your book to be? This is where you determine how thick you want it to be. For me, I want it kind of thin. I don't want it too big because I don't have much paper, so there's no need to make it too thick. Okay? So you're going to take your paper and you're going to tape it. You're going to take your paper. You're going to take your tape and you're going to tape it down on this side, and then you're also going to tape it on the other side. So when you flip it over, after this is taped, you're going to flip it over and you're going to tape it down on this side as well with the other sheet of tape and tape it down. All right, so let me go on and do mine real quick. Mine's a little bit more involved. It's a little different. It's a little odd. And I think you know how to tape by now. So tape one down. What would also help is if you do like maybe 2 or 3 pieces of tape on one side and then another set of tape on the other side, like 2 pieces on one side and 2 on the other to make it real nice and sturdy. That'll help a lot. Okay, so I've got my tape all on here. There's some spots that probably could use a little bit more help, but actually what we're going to do next will help that kind of secure down. So if your tape is not like completely all the way down, or you want to secure it a little bit more, you can do that by doing the next step. So let me show you what we're going to do. You're going to whip out some newspaper or some magazine paper or anything that has like an interesting design on it. And what we're going to do is we're going to collage a bunch of images all over the front cover, and then we'll paint on top of it, and it's going to look really, really cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick out some things. I love these images. I found them in a magazine, and it has little tiny houses on them, and I thought that I could, since I have a tiny house, make this all cute and fancy and put a little tiny house on the front somehow and paint around it. I don't know. We'll see. And you know, that's the fun thing about art, is that you don't always have to have a plan. There definitely will be times where we'll talk about making plans and determining where we want things to go, but for now, there's some times where it's really fun to just play and build things up and make things, not really knowing what the outcome's going to be. So, yeah, try it. Let's do that by, ooh, this is kind of cool. I may save that for later or something else. But what I'm doing is I'm just picking out images or textures in images that I really, really like. And I start stacking them up and collaging them on a sheet on my cover of my book. So I'm going to speed this up really, really quick. And I'm going to let you watch how I form my book cover. And then we'll get on to the painting part. Okay, so all you have to do is just take a bunch of images that you like, or just regular old newspaper, and just cover the whole thing. So watch me, and we'll do this together. All right? Grab those papers, grab the glue sticks, and off you go. Okay, so I've got everything collaged and glued on. It's all dry. But you'll start to see the edges. They're kind of going off the edge a little bit here. And that's okay, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to, do I want to do this? Yes, I think I may do this. I'm going to glue all the edges, and I'm going to slide them over on the other side of the book cover, so that it will all stay attached. It'll be nice and seamless looking around the edges, nice and clean, and it'll be beautiful. So I'm gonna glue all the edges, all the stuff that's hanging off the edges, and clean it up really, really good. So we'll do that all the way around, and you can watch me go really, really fast. Zip myself through here real quick, and you'll see the end of it. Okay, so now you can see it's all cleaned up. So this will be like my back cover, and this will be my front cover. And you can see the way it looks. And I love it. I think it turned out just perfectly. Now I want to do, whoop, my glue stick's going a little high-wah. Now what you want to do is you want to add some images on the inside. And this is going to kind of seal everything off and make it look really, really nice. I've got a few things here that we can start putting on the inside. Now, you'll notice some of these are images that, well, for me, I absolutely love. When I put them in front of me, they really inspire me and give me some ideas on how to make, you know, some pieces of artwork. So I want to keep those images close to me. So if you have some images or things from the internet or things that you see in books or magazines or whatever, and you really like the image of it, put it inside the book, in the book cover, so that when you start to draw or sketch, it immediately gives you some ideas. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do that. And then I've also got some painted papers. If you've got some decorative paper, maybe scrapbook paper, or anything you've got lying around the house, real decorative paper, you can use this. We'll eventually in class make some jelly printed papers. That's what this is. We use a jelly plate and we make these printed papers, and they're really pretty. So we may do that sometime, but this is what I have right now. And I have this large sheet here. I thought this would be really cool to put in there. So we'll play with that. And then I've got some other images like these strawberries and leaves and leaves. Yeah, they are leaves. Leaves, feathers, and eggs. Thought they were kind of pretty. And this is also a perfect time to get out some of your stickers that we popped out. Like some of these letter stickers. We're going to use it on the front and on the inside as well. So I know the first thing I want to do, I really want to use this. I'm going to cut this out kind of big, and we're going to map out where we're going to put it on the inside. Okay. Smoothing it all out. So now you've got a really pretty patterned piece for the inside. I'm going to go on and glue this down, get all the air bubbles out. Oh, nice and pretty. And I love the way this looks so far. Ah, it looks so good. Now I'm going to leave the front cover for later because we need to move on to the inside where we're getting the paper all inside, and I'll show you exactly what to do to get all that started. So take a break, pause the video if you need to, and we'll jump right on into getting the pages on the inside. Okay? Okay, so now I've got all my pages lined up, ready to go to be bound here in the center. Now, just to review, remember, make sure your pages are the same size as your box, however you want to form it. If you've got a book that's about this size, you want to make sure that your pages are folded in half and the crease is right here in the center and it matches the size of your box. Now, if you're using like notebook paper, it may be about this small. So it just depends on what your paper looks like, the size of it, when you fold it in half. And that will determine how big your piece of paper, how big your book is. So yes, like I mentioned at the beginning, make sure you size up your pieces of paper based off of how they look when they're folded up against the book, okay? So you've got that set, and then you should have all of your pages put together in one signature. Remember, we said a signature was a pile of papers smooshed together in the center. So you've got like one, and then the second page, and then the third, and then, you know, you just keep going. Make sure they're all in the center, all together, okay? And they're all loose, shouldn't be glued or anything, but they're all put in the center. And then this is where we start poking holes. So get you your push pin or your some sort of way to poke a hole through the paper and through the binding. You're also going to need a piece of string. I think I forgot to mention that at the beginning of the video. I knew I'd forget something. You can use any kind of string. Just make sure when you yank on it, it's not going to pop apart. Okay, so you want to make sure it's nice and strong, and that way it can hold the pages together. And we're going to do a simple, you know, binding, so it won't be too complicated. But all you're going to need to do is pop 2 holes on your signature. So you're going to want to open it up all the way to the center where everything's lined up. Make sure it's all smushed together. What might help is if you have some of these, like I call them alligator clips or binder clips. If you've got those, to make sure it's all smushed together and it won't move, you can pinch that side and then pinch this side and it should hold. But all you have to do is just take your poker and poke 2 holes. Oop, my iPad's singing to me. Make sure that your fingers are away from the center so you don't poke your fingers, but just kind of hold it with your 2 fingers on the back. Press down with your thumb and then just press down really good with your push pin, and it should be able to pop right through. You may want to push it through on this side as well. Wiggle it around, make your hole kind of big so you can pop your string through. If you have a needle, that's fine, but I think we can do without a needle. Since this is just two holes, I think we can pop them through. I'll show you how to weed it through or thread it through real easily. So just wiggle it around, make your holes kind of big, not too big, but you know, enough to where you can fit the string through. Then you got your first hole. Now you want to do your second hole. Make sure your fingers are on both sides of the crease so you don't poke your fingers. Put your thumb down to press and hold. Then pop your push pin through. There we go. Now you've got a hole there. Then you want to put a hole in on this side. Wiggle it around. Make sure you're not poking your fingers. Keep your fingers out of the way so you don't poke them. I do not want to injure my beautiful, most amazing artists. So just be careful. Do not poke your fingers, okay? Okay. Keep them very, very out of the way. Wiggle, wiggle, make those holes big. And now you've got the holes done. Okay, so you're going to set your paper aside. Then what you're going to, well, actually you're going to you're going to actually need them for this part. So lay your paper right over top of your binding. Right over top of your binding where you want it to go, where you want to poke those holes through. Then you're going to take a pencil and you're going to draw, kind of wiggle a little mark through the hole so that you know where you're going to make your next hole on your binding. And it should be able to make a mark. Now if you're using duct tape, you might want to use a pen or a real skinny marker or something to poke through the holes, but enough to make a mark on the other side. You should be able to do it. Yep, see? There are my two holes right there. So I'm going to take my push pin. We're going to do the exact same thing like we did with our papers. Just make sure that your fingers are on the opposite ends of the crease so you don't poke your fingers. Pop a hole. And there's your hole. And then do the same thing. Since it's kind of sturdy, you may not have to hold it as you did with the paper. Paper's kind of flimsy, but your book cover is kind of sturdy. And there's your hole. Now you'll want to do it on the other side as well. Make it a little big. Warble it around a little bit. Wake it up. Say, wake up, little hole. Get out of the way. Get ready for the string a-coming. And there we go. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take your book and you're going to lay your paper on top. You're going to twist the ends. You want to lick it a little bit so it'll slip right through. Slip it through your papers first. Then pop it through. So you've done the top hole first. Then slide it down just a little bit so you can see the top hole of your binding. Make sure your binding's right side up, or your book is right side up. And slip that through this hole. It should go right through. Then you're going to take the other one, the other side, the other string. See, you've got this string that's you've already popped through the top hole of the paper and then the top hole of the book. You want to twist it a little bit, wet it a little bit. Then you want to pop it through the bottom hole. We'll make sure it's all lined up. I think my paper's getting a little out of whack. There we go. And it just came through. See? Oop, make sure we don't make a knot. There we go. So see, now we've got it through both holes. You want the end of the string to go in this way at the top and the end of the string to go this way at the bottom. So here's this end and here's that end. You want the top one to go through there and then the bottom one to go through there. Bottom part of the string to go through there. Okay? Now you've done that. So now, like I've done there, I put the top string in the top hole of the book. Now you want to put the bottom part of the string, and slide that up a little bit, to the bottom hole of the book. And then just pull it through. And the hole should be big enough. So now what you're going to do, since you've got them through both holes, nice and tight, you're going to close it. Close it all up. And then you're going to pull that string tight and pull that string tight. And then you're going to tie a knot. Now, if you need a grown-up's help with this, you can do that. But you want to tie a knot. And you want to put a finger in there just like you would tie a bow for a present. You want to tie another knot on top of it. Make it really, really tight as best you can. It's a little tricky. You got to hold that knot down and then do another one. There we go. Pull tight. See, this is why we really want the string to be durable, because you want to pull it tight. Make sure it's not going to go loose. Now, it should hold. And when you open it up, see, it's like a book. Nothing pops out. See? And there's your pieces of paper. Look at there. And then you can get to the center and you'll see your string there. And then you just pop it open, you just pull it, and you've got all these lovely pages. Isn't that cool? Now, this is a kind of book, though, that you want to be easy. You don't want to go throwing this around and flinging the pages open and tearing them. And it's not the most durable sketchbook, but it's close. Okay, it's just enough to hold the pages and have you a nice little book, and you can make yourself a sketchbook. Okay, now let's set this aside, and this is the part now where you can bring out your sticks. So what you can do is just take your stick. You've probably got some leftover string, so you can start by wrapping it around several times. Wrap it around there. And then we'll wrap it around this time right here. Just wrap that extra string around your stick. Around and around, maybe in between that little loop there at your binding. See, I'm kind of wrapping that around, make sure it's nice and secure. Maybe a couple more times. I go under the twig and around. And we'll do that on this side too. I'm going to go around that loop from the binding. Go around and around and around and around. Just want to pull it tight. Get that stick real close to the edge. But any way that you can get that string real tight around the stick, go right ahead. And then you can wrap it around several more times. Wrap it around. And this you may need some help with a grown-up too, with your parents, grandparents, anybody. Brother, sister, maybe they can help you out. You just wrap that around, and then, now see, it's probably still going to be a little loose, but what you can do is you can tie a bow. Just like this. Pull tight, tight as you can. Tight, 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 and then maybe another knot. This one holds pretty well. Just make you another knot. There you go. Maybe another one. Make sure it's nice and secure. And then you can tie a bow just like you tie your shoes. There we go. So now you've got a cool little stick for the binding. So now when you open it up, it still lays pretty flat. Should lay pretty flat. And you've got a cool looking journal that's got a stick on the side. Now don't forget, you guys can paint your sticks. But personally, for me, I kind of wanted to leave mine blank because I like the edging. I like the details that is on the sticks. But you can just paint it with your regular acrylic paint. You can also do this. You can also get your stickers out. Let me add Miss Banks to my front cover. Now, if you used newspaper to paint or to add to the cover of your book, you can use your acrylic paint, like we talked about, like these kind of acrylic paints, and you can paint over the whole cover, any color you want. And you can draw on top of it. You can paint like a sunset, a rainbow, anything you want. But I think, to be honest, I kind of like the way mine looks, and I'm just going to leave it alone. I thought I might paint on it, but nah, I'll just put some stickers on it. So I'm going to put Miss Banks. Oh, wait, well, no, it's fine. I think it'll be cute. Let me put Miss Banks on here. So if you've got like some fun stickers that you have lying around the house and you just want to put those on your sketchbook, you can do that as well. But make it look really, really decorative. Make this sketchbook ready for you to use. You know what? I think I used all my S's up. I did. I used all my S's. I tell you what, this is what I'll do. I'll just put Miranda. How about that? That's my first name. I can at least do that. Miranda. And my A's are going to be all my... I used all of my lowercase a's. Dang it. Dang it. Dang it. That's okay. My Miranda's going to look a little weird, but that's okay. We'll make it work. There's that. Miranda. Oh, yes. And then one more A. And then I've got some cool looking stickers. And you know what? A teacher gave me these stickers at the beginning of the year when I first started teaching you guys. And she gave me some really cool fuzzy stickers of apples. I was like, oh, I love them. Let's use the green one. The green one's my favorite. And I'm going to put that one right there. So you can put any stickers you want on here. I've got some other stickers that have like a colored edge. Let me see if I got some more of those. Ooh, yes. Look at this one. Look at all the color. Oh, I like it. So I'm going to peel. Oh, wait. No, that's not a sticker. I thought it was. Oh, well. But you could stick anything you want on there. It doesn't have to be a sticker. It could be like some real decorative paper. Just like this. Maybe some scrapbook paper. Anything you want. I think I'm going to put these two down. I like those. So you can use this sketchbook from now on with canvas. You can make anything you want in it. This could be used perfectly for sketchbook projects. Okay? And just make your sketchbook your own. Make it yours. And I'm sure it looks awesome. So all you guys have to do now is just take a picture of it. Let me see your awesome sketchbook. If you want to take a picture with your sketchbook and hold it up high and let me see it. Oh my goodness gracious. I'm so excited to see these. I really cannot wait. So let me see those sketchbooks. I'm so excited. And I hope you guys have fun making them. Now you guys can do anything you want. Your sketchbook does not have to look like mine. If you want to use something else, if you're not quite crazy about this twig thing I got going on here and you don't like it, that's okay. You can do your own thing. Add anything you want to your sketchbook. Make it your own, okay? All right, I will see you guys soon. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye!